Hello everyone, Mr. Creepy as Hell here. Before we get started with this video, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you cut on all notification bells as well to make sure you get notified whenever I release a new video. Also, if you enjoy this video, please like and share. It really helps me out. And one more thing, when you're watching my videos,
make sure you keep all the lights on.
My name is Isaac, and I want to share with you about a story about my manager, whose name was Luke, and how this man kept harassing me every single day, as well as stalking me. It happened 2 years ago. I worked at another job that I was laid off of, and I had to find a job very quickly, and that's when I found this job at a store. I'm not going to name the store for obvious reasons. I don't want to get sued or anything, but it was a store that was pretty popular in my town. I applied at the store and I got lucky and I snagged an interview. The interview was the next day, so I went off to bed and I got up the next day and got myself together. I got my resume and everything I needed for that interview. Once I stepped into the office of the store I applied to, I could tell you that off the bat, something felt weird about this guy. And that's when I met him for the first time, Luke. He was a Caucasian man. His hair was a mix between black and grayish, indicating his age. I had to guess by looking at him that he was most likely in his late 50s or early 60s. The man never smiled at me. He didn't even look up. He was just typing on his computer, and then he started asking the questions that usually most managers or employers ask. He asked me all those questions and I answered. The man didn't look at me at all during the interview, which that was a red flag. He just told me that I got the position. He hired me right on the spot. That right there was another red flag, but I was desperate and I needed a job, so I accepted the job offer. The job that I applied to was a stalker, so I would do stalking all throughout my shift during the daytime when the store was open. I got started the next day on my very first day. As I was stalking, I can already tell that this was going to be a job that I hate immediately. Not because of the work, it was because of the manager, Luke. He came up to me and he said something.
Let me ask you a question. How long is it going to take you to get that pallet done? You've been at that for an hour and I need you to hurry up, okay? Look, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but you gotta move faster.
Okay. After he got done getting on to me, I was confused because besides me stalking, there were 3 other associates stalking as well. And out of those 3, there was one associate that was moving entirely slow. I'm talking about so slow that he barely even done a half a pallet. Meanwhile, I've already was on my 3rd pallet of stuff to stock, but for some reason, Luke just seems to want to just get on me, and that's what puzzled me. I was on the 3rd pallet that I was stocking, and I got done pretty fast, but somehow he just wanted to target me, and this kept on going for the next 6 months. He would yell at me, he would make little remarks, he would say anything he can to just get a reaction out of me. Not only that, on my days off, he would call me constantly, bugging me about other things, such as did I commit theft or finding any excuse just to mess up my day, especially when I was off. He liked to get under my skin, and that's what I hate about him. But it was this particular day, a year and a half after enduring his abuse, that he went too far. Prior to this incident, I had several people tell me to get evidence on him and start recording him. And that's what I done. That day, he started to unload on me about how he hated everything about me.
You know, Isaac, one thing about you, well, actually, there's a lot of things about you I don't like, and you really piss me off. You seem to always keep moving slow. Why can't you be like my other good workers? You always mess up. You always do dumb things. I really don't like the way you work. You're gonna make me want to fire you, but you're really getting on my nerves and you're stressing me out. What's wrong with you? You act like a lard.
When he ushered out the R word, I was highly offended, especially as someone who was on the spectrum. I unloaded on him as well, and I called him out. Okay, you know what, sir? I don't appreciate you calling me that. You know better. That's discrimination. Second of all, why are you always getting on to me? There are other people here who work that don't do a good job, but you want to get on me. You want to call me out. You seem to always want to pick on me. I don't know what your problem is. I will not allow you to keep on harassing me. Not to mention, stop calling me on my days off. Something is just going on with you. You let the power of manager get to your head. You don't deserve to have that title. After I put him in check, he got really angry. His face was red as ketchup. His fist was balling up. And then he raised his fist as he was about to hit me. But then one of the assistant managers came and grabbed him and stopped him from hitting me. The assistant manager told me just to go on lunch, floored that the man was about to hit me. I just went on to my lunch. I didn't report him that moment. I was just in shock. As I was eating my lunch, I noticed that I started to feel a little funny. I don't know why it was, but I felt really lightheaded, and my stomach started to ache really bad, to the point I felt like I was going to throw up. And then the last thing I remember was going in and out of consciousness while laying on the floor, with several of my coworkers huddled around me, as I saw 3 EMTs that came into the break room, and that's the last thing I remember. When I woke up, I was in the hospital and I had a bunch of IV fluids in me and a bunch of machines hooked up to me. I remember seeing my mother sit right beside me. She was asleep. I remember I groaned and she woke up. The relief I saw in her eyes made me realize that it must have been something serious that happened to me. She was telling me, "Isaac, you're awake. Let me get the doctor. Hold on." Once the doctor came in and talked to me, he told me that I was poisoned with black nightshade. It's some kind of plant that's really deadly for human beings. And from what the doctor told me, it was spread all over my salad that I was eating during my lunch break. And I certainly didn't put it in my salad. But there was one person who most likely did so to try to get rid of me. When I told my mother and the doctor about my theory, they already knew. It was Luke. They had surveillance cameras inside the break room, and when I dropped my lunch off, when I began to clock in for my shift, Luke came in and grabbed my lunchbox, opened it up, and put something in my salad. When they scooted closer into the video, they saw that it was the poison that nearly killed me. Luke was arrested, and as I'm sharing this right now, he's serving a 35-year sentence in prison for attempted murder. I'm glad his ass is behind bars. I pray and hope that no one ever has to deal with what I dealt with. A very hateful and disturbed manager who let position of power get to his head.